Hey guys, David from PassTheGuitar.live here, and today we're going to be talking about the metronome, this very misunderstood device. We're going to go over what it is, how to use, and why you should be using a metronome. So if you are ready, you know the drill, let's waste no more time and dive right in. So what is a metronome? Some of you may have seen a traditional metronome somewhere in your house or somebody else's house, or even in the movies. It's this wooden box with a pendulum in the front that swings sideways and produces a tick-tock sound. Tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. Yeah, although those look and are super stylish, they don't offer many features like the digital versions of metronomes, or even the most commonly used versions of metronome, which is the Metronome apps. You can find in any phone you own a free Metronome app, so no excuses, guys, right? And basically, the metronome is a device that produces a steady beat or click at any given tempo or speed. You may call it speed. And the speed and tempo in music we use to calculate in BPMs, beats per minute. So the higher the number is, the faster the tempo is, the lower the number is, the slower the tempo is. It's that simple. And the best analogy I can give you guys is a clock. Think about the seconds hand of the clock. That hand moves at 60 beats per minute. It will hit 60 seconds every minute. So it moves at 60 BPM. And I actually used a clock on my early days learning how to play the guitar because I didn't own an old school metronome or even a digital version of a metronome. So why should you use a metronome? If you're not using a metronome, you may find out that your playing doesn't sound as consistent. And the best way to build consistency, whether you're practicing chord changes, strumming patterns, or even scales, is to use a metronome. By using a metronome, you're not only gonna build a strong, steady beat, foundation, and feel, but you're also gonna be able to challenge anything that you're practicing by changing the tempo, so you can start practicing something slowly and gradually bring the tempo up and challenge your speed and your technique in your chord changes as well. And the metronome will come very handy, will be your best friend. And although we cover what a metronome is and why you should be using one, it's time for us to take a look at how you're going to be doing that, the fun part, right? And this is by far the most important step. And if you're going to learn anything from this video, is specifically how to use a metronome. Many of you, including myself, didn't know how to use a metronome, didn't properly learn how to use a metronome from the beginning, tried to use one by playing something complex, got frustrated, and gave up on using the metronome. And that's what happens with most players that give up on using a metronome. They try to use a metronome without knowing necessarily how to use it. And it's super simple because you understand the concept of steady beat. But it takes time. Just like you practice how to play the guitar or any instrument you're learning, you also need to practice how to use a metronome. And how do we do that? Well, we're going to start by using the metronome with its most simple function. We're just going to choose a steady beat, a good tempo to play along, and we're going to strum along on the guitar. We're not going to use any chords. We're not going to play any notes. We're going to mute the strings and play muted strings. If that's too hard for you, you can even clap, because clap is something that you can do, or tap anywhere. You move your body to the beat. You can do that even without the guitar, so there are no excuses. I'm gonna be using muted strings. I'm also gonna be tapping my foot on the ground. And if you feel comfortable tapping your foot on the ground and strumming the guitar at the same time, this is another good thing to practice as well. It's feeling the beat on your body, especially tapping. That's a good way for you to keep the beat while you're playing any songs. So take a look here at the metronome. You see that this Metronome app is super nice. It's free. You can find one for you as well. Very nice interface, super clean. You see the number on the top. right there that says that the number of BPM. Right there you see 80 BPM, and you see this big dial that you can scroll to the right, which will increase the BPM. The numbers are going to go up, and you can scroll counterclockwise and the numbers are going to go down. You can also use those arrows to go up and down. And 80 BPM is a very, very comfortable beat to start practicing how to use a metronome, because it's not too slow, so you start feeling like you're speeding up. And if it's too fast, you're going to feel like you're falling behind. So 80 BPM is a great place to start. And you're going to start that metronome, you're going to push play, and we're first just going to listen to the beat so we can start feeling the beat. As soon as you start feeling that beat, you can start moving a part of your body. It could be your foot. So I'm going to push play here on my metronome. There we go. If you listen to that beat, we can start by, it can be tapping here, it can be tapping my foot on the ground, or maybe start like with a soft clap. Just really feel that. Don't focus on anything else. Don't look at the metronome. It's very important that you just listen to it so you can internalize the beat. And you can't be deceived by your own eyes. So now that we're starting to feel comfortable with that beat, it's time for us to try to reproduce that sound. And what we're going to try to do here, guys, is we're going to strum the guitar along with the beat, not before or after. So right along with the beat, together, as we are one. So we use this term in music, we call it, we're gonna play, we're gonna sit on top of the beat. So you literally wanna sit on top of the beat. You don't wanna be behind, because then you're gonna start feeling like you're dragging, or you don't wanna be ahead. Right? That doesn't sound really good. So every time that you feel like you're not in sync with the metronome, just stop playing, start feeling that beat again when you feel comfortable, and then you resume strumming. And here, there's no need to be counting beats. We're not counting beats or numbers. All we're doing is feeling comfortable playing on a steady beat. And now that you understand how to use a metronome, it's time for you to take the next step, which is to do the same thing we did, but with different tempos. We were using the metronome at 80 BPM. I highly recommend you start experimenting with BPM slower than that, and or also faster than 80 BPM. And do the same practice. Listen to the beat first, start feeling it, and as soon as you feel comfortable, go and strum muted strings. Make sure that all you're doing is basic rhythm. There is no other sounds, pitches, or chords or notes, because you want to focus on only the beats. And that's a wrap for this lesson. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. And now you understand a little more about this incredible device, the metronome. And maybe you feel like the metronome is also a good friend of yours, because it will become your best friend the more that you practice along with it. My name is David, and I'll see you guys on the next video.